Hi folks, we are back at the World Cup. It's round 7 and we are going to watch another game between Greece and Austria. This one starting 6 minutes too early, so again, they're not giving us much chance to look at the decks. But we do know the decks in part at least. So Reinhard playing his Targ Brotherhood, that was very successful at Stalek. And Tassos is playing Conclave, which is presumably the Big Dragons version, right?
Suppose so.
Well, let's
It says
have a
it's
look.
champions for Westeros, or is that incorrect?
Well, these two players are scheduled to play in the World Cup now, so presumably this is the World Cup game, not
Okay.
Champions of Westeros game. Yeah, they're not paired this week in Champions of Westeros. So it's 2-1 for Austria now, as we keep reminding you. And Greece needs some wins.
Big. I don't know if there's one silver steed actually.
Yeah, so it is Big Dragons here. It's not a copy of the Stalek deck that made the finals, but it's pretty similar. Three copies of Bloodraven it plays, by the way.
Thought it would be useful to have Bloodraven in this type of decks that do outwit and really want to time their plots correctly. And also plays Prince who came too late. Interesting.
Well, he's used that Late Summer Feast to good effect. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so Drogon works on strength 1 or lower, not printed, just strength 1 or lower, which at the moment is nothing, but yeah, we have 2 copies of Field of Fire in the deck.
Yeah, and, Field of Fire doesn't actually reduce them to 1, but combination of Nightmares and Field of Fire would work. And he actually has available now full Conclave and the top card of his deck with Gormand and Marvin already in.
Well, Reinhard looks, of course, he doesn't see everything. He sees the hand. It's going to force Gorman to draw the card that he has available now, but if nothing has been set up, then that's pretty random anyway. Regal goes. It's one less character to find with Daenerys if she ever sees play here. I should mute spectators, come on. Yes, so big military. And it's a problem for Drogon, yeah. Has to
Forces Drogon to
defend, otherwise he would get intimidated. Reinhard famously plays Put to the Sword as well in the deck, so you need to be a little bit careful, even if you get multiple icons and you want, you say, okay, let's leave it unopposed, I'll do a military back with whatever is left. Dangerous against this deck if there's 2 gold.
Yeah, still enough strength left to intimidate this Half-Meister guy. Although he's still winning 2 challenges back if he stops now.
Yeah, and Reinhardt in this deck actually does not have Dohaeris anymore. So he has First Snow, which is not going to help against Big Dragons, and Mad King's Command, which also will not help. So it's a little bit dodgy. And on the other side we have Morgulis, so all kinds of resets. Well, take dominance, right? With oh, okay, it's doing the conclave.
Service or something like that that could
Yeah,
put the top card in play.
that's not available, and no higher mysteries in this deck. You can set up something for Gorman to play if you like, or I don't know if it's just going to be drawn. Then sometimes good to draw as well the right card. One copy of healing expertise in the deck. Doesn't really need to manipulate it here, because there's not going to be a Morghulis plate, and goes for intrigue, trading one card for a different one. Hits Dragon Egg, which is not too bad in the long run. Like to get that in combination with Queensguard on Tormund if you can. Well, Drogon is endangered.
And actually, I think, well, at least the last time I checked the Brotherhood deck, he played 3 copies of Lady Stoneheart as well, and that and Jakan Hagar would be a bit problematic, right?
Yeah,
Right
all
now
of that
there's
available. He has
Drogon ready.
Gates of the Moon as the only econ though.
Yeah, that's true.
This always seems to happen. There's some players, I never make it work, but they go with the gates into Gates of the Moon and they're just fine with that. Play out everything somehow, magically. Ah, well, Petoshi helps. So now you could play Jacan or Lady Stoneheart.
It's a bit dangerous actually. Uh, to let all that gold be available.
I mean, he has 10 himself plus potentially 3 more. So if suddenly Rhaegal and Drogon are in play together, I mean, it gets so difficult to do anything against them. Well,
Looking at
this
what
guy
else
not too bad.
some
He has enough gold for
yes,
the other dragon. Come on, let's have all 3.
well, I'm gonna say there's not that many cards that would be able to absorb Lady Stoneheart if she comes in.
Mm.
Have this one, it's a safe. Well,
Random browse getting 4 gold. And for good measure, let's have Gates of the Moon, why not? Well, there he is. He needs to win alone. But you
I
can
mean,
clear.
with stealth, that should be possible on the intrigue, right?
Yeah, or you can clear the way a little bit with Intimidate. Or double stealth if you. Depends what you do with Varamir, but yeah. Actually, double stealth doesn't
I
work with
think
Jacan because he needs to defend alone, so I guess Intimidate on Varamir. And then see if you have enough.
if you play on Targaryen side, on Conclave side, you may have Dragon has 3 heads to also have some intimidate.
Yeah, that's
That could
very possible
come in
actually.
handy right now.
He has 3 copies
Yeah.
of that.
And you have Drogon, so it's intimidate, and what does Rhaegal get? Or Viserion?
Stealth.
Viserion gets stealth?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that would be pretty good. Yeah, and 2 gold left, and getting that Aramirran 9 strength. Maybe want to threaten to do stuff anyway.
Well, we are in the action
He
window
actually,
where he could have played the event if he had it.
it's now, right?
Yeah. And it looks like he passed, and well, Ghost
Okay.
finds put to the sword, so that's in the deck as well. I mean, the key ones are duped, but it is an annoying card that can pretty easily be triggered unless Reinhard just really defends, but he doesn't want to spend his characters on defense, of course.
Of course, you have the ability to play stuff. Actually, the Conclave's pretty depleted. There's only 5 cards left, and it's only round 2. I think there's like a lot of cards from
Yeah,
Conclave
that
being
happens
played.
pretty quickly. I've seen that in the last 2 games that I watched of Conclave as well. If Marvin is in play, just use them up pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean the bonus has already happened pretty much. Look at his econ and his board now.
Yeah, but if you can't handle Jacan, that's going to be a problem. Although um, there is Curvin to intercept it, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Reinhardt protects his hand here. And now
Defend
what?
this, but seems like you probably want to. Oh no, you
Ooh,
just defend.
okay. Not giving it a chance to happen. Any weird surprises. That just leaves Jaka and Hagar there, all alone.
Yeah, but the problem is he can win actually military challenge, plays put to the sword, and triggers his ability as well. Theoretically, right? He has stealth, so the only military icon standing is Viserion.
Yeah, somehow I have a suspicion that there's an answer to that. Either a hand judgment or something like that. Guess we find out.
Curvin into the challenge, so
There we
I
are.
suppose he wants to do something with Conclave. Hmm. Okay.
Ooh, superior claim. Well, he's spending most of his cards. Genuinely now, okay, he has some left for the Conclave, but Mad King's Command could find himself in trouble in terms of resources. So Stealth and Intimidate. Didn't use it previously though, when Drogon was in the challenge, so I wanted to wait if it was properly defended or not. Although with gaining stealth maybe could have won that. Either way, it deals with the Jacan situation in the short term.
Yeah. And there's still nightmares and anything else? No. I suppose Meister Mulen could do some stuff to play around Jacan easier.
Look at all those tokens. So we have that new agenda coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
That I think works with Valar Morghulis tokens, right?
Yeah, I
That's
think
going
so.
to be fun. Well, let's play the two econ plots. So,
Yeah,
what
and
now?
Bravos has a huge amount of gold. None of Reinhard's reset will stop Bravos as gold anyway, because they're all after challenges begins, right? And then also Outwit doesn't work, so that's basically a dead card. You could do you win or you die actually already, but
Yeah, maybe just play the prince who came too late. Yeah,
mm.
into Mad
Into
King's
Mad
Command.
King's Command.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly if now curving goes away,
Hmm.
Drago's gonna be a bit exposed to Japan.
Yeah, Reinhardt will probably try to do what he tried last round. The question is, does Imrik here keep the duped characters or does he keep the biggest ones? Guess it slightly depends also on whether he needs to use Marvin's ability at any point in the challenges phase. I think I'd keep Marvin anyway for Matkins Command to have access to the Conclave. And then the two dragons, or does he keep Gorman?
Danny, I think you would play Danny now.
Well, skipping Marvin for sure then.
Mm-hmm. There's only one copy of Bravos in the deck.
Okay,
Jeez.
so it's going to be Daenerys and Marvin, and either Gorman or one of the dragons.
All of the dupes you might consider actually keeping.
Dragons will
Keeping
go
Gorman.
to the bottom, so slightly less chance to be in the top 10 cards, although 34 cards left and still, right, two copies of Drogon and Viserion there, and Rhaegal. They messed up the timer because they chose the wrong mode. Says Champions of Westeros, right? Yeah. Well, assuming there's no complaint or anything like that, they're just going to have to resolve this manually, keep an eye on the timer. Usually, especially the Targ deck would kind of win or lose before game goes to 55 minutes. The Brotherhood deck, I mean. Not sure about Conclave, but I think also.
Mm. Dragons, interesting.
Well, that means that Imrik here has access to 3 cards from the Conclave and to Gorman's cards still, but that ghost keeps doing this. Then he doesn't have the Valar Morghulis token, so she needs to be properly put to the sword. Might wait for the challenge to be initiated before she tries to search for a dragon.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm. Well, you can search now, and you have enough to defend. Put to the sword, right? Because if then Jacan does his challenge, he can kill one of the duped ones. But yeah. Okay, there's actually not enough strength to defend just with him.
Does he take Marvin? He does. And this one should go through.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Comes with the dragon, and then his abilities return to hand. Okay.
It's a King's Road. That probably at this point is not a key card. But now challenge is coming back, and I think Imrik is winning this at the moment.
To spend regal on defense, but I think it makes sense because put to the sword will be really bad.
Oof. Okay. How about another superior claim?
Only have one.
Only one, yeah. Because now he's kind of stuck with those military icons. Okay, this guy goes back to hand, needs to be replayed. There is
Yeah,
some
and
gold.
there's one is gonna come in now for the prince who came too late.
Yeah, well, actually didn't
Well,
trigger that.
yeah, that's hard.
Mm. It is 9
It's
mil.
big waste, but see if let's see if this costs him the game.
Yeah, that's so easy to miss.
Yep.
Would you let your opponent do it if that happened?
I mean,
I wouldn't if I was
I
losing like
think
this.
yeah, if you're if you're on 9-0, I think you have to take that loss.
Yeah. It could start turning around. Dupes are gone. Jacan's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. It's okay. It's going to probably
They want to
use Outwit just to keep the econ,
yeah,
right? To replay more stuff.
because Gorman is pretty weak to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is to claim military, to claim power, so stuff could happen, but
And
still
Jack's ability.
7 cards and Gorman's card, so I mean, and the econ should be okay to
Yeah.
play stuff.
And
Then
assuming that there
first,
is actually that put to the sword in hand,
yeah,
since
I suspect there
it's
is.
looking like it. Yeah, it's looking like it.
First snow is the next thing, I guess, on both players' minds here. It's the other thing Reinhard can do. He has March to the Wall as well in the deck. And Morgulis for Imrik, but not
And
immediately forced into
Queensguard,
that.
Queensguard on Jacan, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. I mean, he's alright. He can play the dragon and he has Daenerys still, so he has board presence here.
Mm-hmm.
Would be nice with an additional dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
Mm.
this little guy with an absurdly strong ability for such a cheap character. Now ruins
Yeah.
the military challenge because he will get rid of that Queen's Guard. Hopefully Reinhardt can at least try to trigger it and get maybe some freedmen, at least one, into play. Although pushing challenges through, not that easy in this board, especially if you can't stealth past the dragon Danny brings in.
Mm.
By the way, there's 3 nightmares, so he hasn't played it yet, so probably not under the Conclave, but at some point. Oh, actually, no, there's 2 nightmares. 3, Reinhardt has 3. He could use it as well, just to play it on Danny. This time Varamri gets Intimidate and Jacan gets Stealth. It's going to start power. Well, but if she brings in Viserion,
We said, I think still winning. You're still losing rather the power challenge than the military challenge. So maybe you want to wait for the military challenge and
yeah, it's a risk. But it is to claim power. And Reinhardt is well behind. Okay, they have some more time, but okay, good 20 minutes. Hmm.
healing expert is being played, right? Oh
Well,
no.
I mean, was this worth it?
What happened with? Oh, he defended. He defended with Archmaester Marvin. I thought maybe he nailed him for healing expertise.
Well, that is the big challenge, the one that matters. So if Danny misses, it will be won by 5, right? Oh, she cannot search. What are we talking about? The faction card is nailed.
Oh,
Just checking now.
well.
And of course, that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's in fact a game changing problem. Or a game losing problem if put to the sword is in hand. And it is, of course, and look at all those dupes for potential to reset with Morgulis. Not happening. And now he must be pissed with himself for forgetting the prince who came too late last round, really. This is looking good still before this happened. Maybe Outwit wasn't such a brilliant move after all. I thought, okay, protecting Econ, he's marshaled stuff with that Econ to be fair, but he's lost the Danny trigger in the process. And everything goes for Intimidate. Well, it's a disaster. Good job, the Queen's Guard is gone, but it's still a disaster. And still two Morgulis tokens there on Marvin and Gorman. 7-5. So
does Jacan have some limit for this
yeah,
ability?
he does not have any limit.
Oh, no, he wasn't taken alone. Yeah, makes sense.
I think it's going to be March now. March, Friedman and
But actually,
Gorman.
suppose that if he was had an faction card nailed and he has stealth, he could actually just go on his own and also have another kill, right? You know what I mean?
Yes, last round when Queensguard stood him, and he had stealth, and there was one military icon. I think it was possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's other ways that stuff can come in. Okay, Marshall's one of these guys, but
Surely there's stuff for 9 gold. Come on, let's have another Danny.
now because there must not be that much left in Conclave. Well.
Okay, so what's going to happen now is Jacan will take his stealth or whatever again. He's going to get the kill on Marvin, he's going to get the military claim. I feel some annoyance when this happens because it happened to me as well against Reinhard the last time we played in Champions of Westeros. Just some random put to the sword that, I mean,
It's not super random.
it was completely random. He played some kind of first snow where I nailed everything he had with Melisandre, and still he got some kind of Varamir after that and chose the big strength boost and 2 gold left, and just it was difficult to accept at the time, and I'm reliving it when this has happened to Imrik here. It looked so dominant with that board, but yeah, just goes to shit so quickly against this deck. I have to feel for Greece a little bit. Yeah, of course, there's another put to the
Jesus, there's another one. Damn.
They probably had a Mistwin in the Stark Mirror, and this one is not a Mistwin, but would have been so much better with an additional character there, or just a dupe for what it's worth. So Austria is going to lead after this one, and Greece will be under pressure.
I mean, I think Greece, if they want to make it after this one, they actually have to do to win all of the remaining games, right?
Yes. Assuming Germany doesn't lose. But look at the players. So they still have 2 games with Bucherman playing, and they have Stelios playing. They have Tassos playing another one. They have Nontas. So it's it's a strong group of players, and they can win. But look, it's against Robert Charvat and people like that. So to be in 5 in a row, I mean,
Yeah. There's 4, right? There's 4 left.
4 in a row, yes. Well, now comes the winner die. That could have also been useful when he was struggling with cards. He has Econ and he has now 4 new ones, and he's played that close call to make sure Danny is still alive.
Honestly, the icon is the browse is not gonna get some major, right?
Yeah, but he
Amount
has
of
all
points.
the locations anyway.
Sure.
And I would assume he can play anything he draws here.
You check what the timer is, or would be 38 minutes into the game.
Yeah, someone's going to win before that expires, I think.
And
The 2-claim military is useless at this point, but
proof for Fedri.
if you can do 2-claim power, that will help him delay a little bit. Last lot is Morgulis though, so it didn't go for that. There she is. For that magical double Morgulis attempt in round 6 and 8. I don't think it would have worked. He can get double, you win or you die instead though. And superior claim back, yeah. Whatever, Lady Forlorn on Jacan Hagar. Yeah, of course, he's 10 strength now. Reasonable strength for him. No surprises, nothing in hand apart from what goes back for first now. Well, if you had a way to do 2-claim military actually,
It would still not do anything.
yeah, it would take. Well, maybe not. It would take
It would not do
Jacan
anything.
Hagar's dupe, right? So that Jacan and Varamir is still there for Morgulis.
Yes, I think so. Do you take renown now, maybe? Insight? Yeah, that's fair enough as well. And the problem is there's one dragon that's gonna come in and it's not gonna be strong enough, even if it's Drogon.
Well, if it's Viserion, he can do the 2-claim power. Okay. Well, Reinhard lets it go anyway. No good reason to do intrigue. Or is there? Well,
This would force both of them to defend if he wants to win.
the power has swung now, so I don't think he'll bother, really. Could there be a put to the sword coming the other way? I mean, even if there is... Okay, Reinhardt plays conservatively here. I'm surprised. Well, he knows that Imrik will Morgulis himself, I guess. So much for that insight. Joran the Archivist. Well, doesn't trigger the Archivist. And 11-8 it is. And what's the last spot here for Reinhard?
The Smith,
The
I think
Smith.
so.
Okay. Hand's Judgment, where was this before? It's desperately needed. Is he going to kneel the Great Hall? Sure he is. Well, if he's drawn two useless cards, well, no, he hasn't.
Depends on what the other card in hand is, right?
Yeah, I mean... Oh, okay. He can take Insight to refill the hand for Plaza, I guess.
Yeah, and she gets stealth.
Yeah,
A wildling.
didn't draw a Rose Road. I would have drawn a Rose Road in this situation. Or maybe not, because he only plays two in the deck. So anything you marshal presumably gets killed, so leaves the two cards in hand, hoping to survive another round.
As Hopeless looking, he's still ahead, right? So it is questionable how it would have gone if he remembered that prince who came to light. And he goes for it now.
Yeah, can't play with fire that much, has to get ahead. Could have defended that power challenge really. Put the sword.
Yeah, it's he takes dominance. Yeah, now I would assume he goes for city besieged, right?
Yeah, he might.
Versus what, you win or you die?
Yeah, unless you desperately need to close call, but I don't think you do. Goes for first now.
Interesting. Not what I expected.
And doesn't actually win initiative.
Something that's as expensive he wants to play.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was difficult to imagine a set of cards that would have turned this around. So yeah, big win for Reinhard here. I'm annoyed by his strong deck, but what can you do?
Yeah, and obviously seeing the Nerys in hand, maybe having that close call would have been better anyway.
Yeah. But then you can't
Just
really do any pressure without to claim. Just win the power challenge and no way to defend. Yeah, I mean with Marvin there could have duped things better. He kept the dupes even for Mad King's command, but still got everything killed. And no nightmares for Jacan in the key situations there. Or Hand Judgment for Put the Sword, just didn't have any of those cards. He had stuff in the early game that obviously wasn't all going to be kept for Mad King's command, and he played that Prince plot into Mad King's command, which was actually pretty good, but then didn't trigger it. That's tough to recover. So that's 3-1 now for Austria, as we said. And we have, let me show you, we have 3 games now scheduled on Friday. Friday evening, and we'll try to get those recorded or streamed as well too at the same time. I assume they will move this around a little bit so that we can follow all of them. But as soon as Austria wins the next one, actually it's pretty much over for this group. It will be China, Austria and Germany going through. So Greece really with their back to the wall need to win all of the remaining games. And do we have anything actually in the other games? Let's see. So China has not started yet against Poland, and
they play
Germany.
during the weekend.
Germany have one game. They lost their first game against. Who are they playing against? Chile. Okay. So actually, if Germany slips, well, if Greece loses, then it doesn't matter. Imagine if Germany lost to Chile or drew against Chile and still got through. Hmm. Okay, so let that be it for tonight. We'll hopefully bring you the rest of this round in the next few days. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.